Hey guys, this is Rob
And Stef.
from Infinite Combo. So, this is the first new game we've probably played in months.
Well, you got I Am Setsuna. I've been playing Overwatch for the last 3 months straight. Still am. But this game caught our interest. For a while, like a lot of other people. So we decided to pick it up the week it came out. And so we're just gonna do a quick little video about our thoughts on it so far.
Yeah. So, I know Stef's put a lot more time into the game than I have.
Well, after the stream, I'm not so sure.
True.
But yeah, because we streamed this game this Tuesday.
You can check that out on our Twitch channel.
Yes.
I'll highlight it.
So, Rob found this jackpot of a planet, but I guess before I talk about that, we should kind of back up and just kind of talk about the game for those who aren't familiar at this point.
Okay. So, No Man's Sky is an exploration game where you explore procedurally generated planets and collect minerals, upgrade your ship, upgrade your
what the fuck?
Yeah, just some random floating
piece of land.
Exactly, procedurally generated. So sometimes you get random stuff like that. But you mine minerals, and you can use them to upgrade your ship, upgrade your exosuit, your multi-tool, which can be used as both a gun and as a mining tool.
Mm-hmm. The planets, seems like there's a healthy variety. Again, we haven't been to a ton of different planets yet, but some are radioactive. The first one, I believe, a lot of the time you spawn on is radioactive, because you got to kind of learn what materials you need. Some are radioactive. This one's a jungle planet. There's another one that I found called a lush planet that's more kind of like a temperate climate. There's Arctic planets. Varying levels of gravity.
Temperatures, all that stuff too.
Yeah.
I got onto a planet that was extremely high temperature in my original solar system. That I had a heat gauge that if I stayed out too long, it would damage me. I found a toxic planet that I was getting poisoned as I was staying on it. So all sorts of various styles to these worlds.
But yeah, again, the point is kind of just to explore these planets, get the resources you need to make money, and upgrade your ship and exosuit so you can keep traveling, making more money. You've got to have, antimatter to get from one solar system to the next.
Yeah, you have to get antimatter to make warp cells, which you use to power your hyperdrive, so you can go from planet to planet. And learning the crafting recipe for antimatter is very random, apparently. So a lot of times you have to just stumble upon somebody who's selling it at the beginning of the game in order to get some. So I was able to create one warp cell because the game kind of teaches you the basics of the game by getting you to a hyperdrive, getting you to a warp cell, all of that. So I was able to get out of my initial system, but now I'm in...
Now he's kind of stuck.
Yeah, the system that I'm in only has one planet, which is the one that I'm on now. So somewhere on this planet there is either antimatter, the recipe for antimatter, or some sort of alien life form that's selling antimatter, or will give me antimatter, or something like that.
Yeah.
So
somewhere out there.
Yep.
So that's the basic idea. There's different alien races. If you discover their ancient artifacts, you can learn words of their language and then make better dialogue choices, which will improve your standing with them, which then gives you better prices on what they're selling.
Yeah.
And I would imagine also lets you sell stuff for more units.
Yeah. I've learned a few words of 2 different languages now, because I don't know if it's true of all systems, but the system that I started in seemed to have had a different alien race than the system that I'm in now, and I don't know if it's like one alien race per system or if that's just how it worked out in my case, but
yeah.
Oh, my inventory's full.
But that's the basic idea of the game. So
some stuff on my ship.
You know, obviously this game has gotten very mixed reception. It's definitely not an action game. It's definitely more of like a relaxation kind of game.
Yeah, but the action sequences will get you going. When I first arrived in this system, I came down to the planet, and then I went up into space to a space station to sell some rare minerals that I found.
That's
and
kind of impressive looking. Stop. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, and the areas in this game can be pretty amazing looking, as an example here. But as I was leaving the space station, a bunch of rogue ships kind of warped into the system, and I got attacked by space pirates and almost killed, and had to shoot down 2 enemy ships.
Which, again, was on stream, so we can highlight that for you so you can go back and watch. But...
Yeah, and I got these, whatever this lemium is, that are relatively valuable. I haven't sold them yet because I'm not sure if they're like useful for crafting something. So I don't really need much more plutonium, but fuck it, I use it for everything. But yeah, these planets are also like absolutely huge, so it's there's definitely no like lack of things to explore. I mean, for the most part, they are relatively empty. It's probably one complaint I have about the game is that I have not found anything that's like anything remotely seeming like a city or a settlement. Like you can find these buildings and all this stuff, but
abandoned manufacturing plants, but there's like no civilization.
Yeah.
You can do it.
Yeah.
Yep. There you go. But like, it seems like a missed opportunity. And as I mentioned before on the stream, the other thing is that there's some comparisons with this game people are making to Minecraft, because, there's some exploring, gathering materials, but you can't create anything. It's all about taking from the planet but never building anything. It's like, these planets are such huge swaths of unsettled areas. I would love to be able to, like, build a city on one of these planets, but you can't. They could always add that later, but building an entire creative mode would be quite an undertaking, so don't know if that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
But it's an enjoyable game so far. I think it could use some patches to like add some more stuff to do in it.
Yeah. I mean, who's to say that more won't come out of this game? I mean, it is a small developer that, most likely was...
It's going to take you forever to get there.
Yeah. It's a small developer, I don't even know if they have any other games besides this one, that most, probably got a little bit of help from Sony on the funding end so they could get the game as an exclusive, and it's a pretty big undertaking for what it is. I mean, look, at the speed I'm going, it's going to take 24 minutes to reach this manufacturing facility. And this is just one planet of the, like, what did they say? Like 18 quintillion. 18 quintillion quintillion?
Yeah.
18 quintillion planets that the game has.
Another downside to this is that I found quickly that I found this great place for harvesting materials, and then my inventory became full, so I flew off the planet to the nearby space station to unload my inventory and sell stuff. And I was in a bit of a pickle when I wanted to go back to that spot, because the planet rotates, regardless of whether you're on the planet or not. So when I tried to find that place again, it was no-go.
I don't have enough iron.
I was gonna say, iron is friggin' everywhere. Just shoot any random structure. There you go. You need like 20, right?
I only needed like 2, but I might as well get some because I'm gonna need it. Need them to make bypass chips, so don't want to overheat my thing.
I've heard people say that the like the ship combat leaves a bit to be desired, and Rob can weigh in on this, but he was having a hard time, but at the same time, like I don't think he's like done the upgrades to his ship in that regard.
I think part of it was between that and just like not knowing what I was doing at first, so
yeah.
Bypass chip. Gonna look for shelter.
These beacons can kind of point you to relevant places instead of just kind of aimlessly wandering around the planet.
Yeah, so drop pods are actually the main thing I'm looking for because I can purchase inventory upgrades at drop pods. That's the main thing I'm looking for right now.
Which I should follow suit on that.
Ooh.
What is that? Some kind of
titanium, I think.
Ooh.
Yep, titanium. I'll take it. 100 titanium. Titanium is a relatively rare mineral, so
this place is pretty. This planet, it's nice.
It's just more. Okay, it's not enough fuel in my launch thrusters. Oh, I got plenty of plutonium. Yeah, plutonium is like the bare bones mineral for like everything in this game, so there we go.
Yeah.
There's the drop pod.
It's unfortunate that there's no way to get out of the system until you find that like one rare material.
Yeah. It may take a while for me to find it, so could be. Suit upgrade. I hope I have enough credits. Oh, I got plenty. 60,000 units.
It's a tenth of your wealth right now.
Fuck it. Inventory's needed, so.
So at least that teaches me to, before I system jump, probably make sure that there's more than one planet, just because, get a little boring otherwise.
Yeah.
But at the same time, then I have to comb through, like, 4 different planets instead of one trying to find that recipe.
Yeah.
Or the
and sometimes you get this where you can see random ships flying overhead. I don't know if they're, like, necessarily always hostile or not hostile.
It didn't seem hostile. They didn't seem to give a shit about you.
Yeah, shielding plate.
I've been hoarding my money for, like a really awesome, like, huge ship that I can just load tons of cargo on.
Alright. See if I can find some place that looks interesting and if I see some, like.
Found the ocean. Or a lake or something. The various life forms they come up with for these planets is kind of entertaining too. They have giant bouncing mushrooms that look vaguely like dicks. They've got silly pineapple-looking things that bounce around. Weird amalgamations of like multiple different animals. We saw like some kind of mammal with 6 legs.
Yeah. Yeah, random stuff. Alright, well, that was kind of a little quick tour of No Man's Sky. So far, so good. I do really enjoy the game. I'm honestly thinking about starting over with a new file just because I didn't really know what I was doing at first, and, I don't know that I should have left my starting system when I did, considering it was very early. I was just kind of like, oh, hey, well, we're streaming. Why don't I just warp jump and see what happens? So I don't know that I like the fact that I'm stuck where I am. But that's just a quick look at No Man's Sky.
Yeah.
You should watch our stream. There's some more gameplay there, and we'll probably have some more videos on this in the future.
Yep, definitely.
Anyways, until next time.
Stay infinite.